And when he came to his disciples, he saw a great multitude about them, and the scribes questioning with them. And straightway all the people, when they beheld him, were greatly amazed, and running to him, saluted him. Verse 16. And he asked the scribes, what question you with them? And one of the multitude answered and said, Master, I have brought unto thee my son, which has a dumb spirit. This story in context is Jesus coming down off of a mountain with 3 of his disciples. He comes down to this huge crowd, not just a multitude, but the Bible says a great multitude. This big crowd of people, the Bible don't say exactly, but the adjective great multitude. So there's a big crowd of people there. And the Bible says that in this big crowd, it comprised of Jesus's people, the ones he was training, the one he was mentoring. May I ask this crowd tonight, any disciples of Jesus under the sound of my voice tonight? I thank God for the multitude, because in the multitude and in the crowd, there was disciples of Jesus in the crowd. And we are also told that in this huge crowd, there were some people known as scribes. I looked it up to see who exactly they were. And they were educated, editors, copyists, very skilled with parchment and pen. And I said, these sound very much like teachers. They were always writing, they were educated, and there were scribes that were in the crowd as well. Any teachers on the sound of my voice tonight? God bless you and every teacher. My wife, when COVID was coming to a close, and they asked if they trust the parents to send out the children back to school, my wife came home and said, not one parent said, no problem. Everyone said, go ahead, take them. And I know that teachers need a special grace. And the Bible said that in the crowd were the scribes, they were teachers. And the Bible said that these scribes were asking Jesus' disciples some questions. And verse 17 says, and one of the multitude answered and said, Master, I have brought unto thee my son, which has a dumb spirit. And in my imagination, in this big crowd of people, it was probably loud. I believe it was probably confusing in the crowd. And Jesus comes in to this confusing scene. And when they see him, they run to Jesus. And he asked the teachers, what are you asking my people? What are you questioning my disciples about? Even here, I see Jesus trying to figure out what's happening. And one of, I believe, the scribes, because he spoke to the scribes, one of the multitude answered and said, I have brought unto thee my son, which has a dumb spirit. And we see in the crowd that there was also a parent. Any parents in the crowd tonight? And they're dark, so you have to help me. I can't see nobody under there. But they're parents, and I wave my hand, thank God, for my 2 children. So there are parents in the crowd as well, too. And we see that one of these parents, a gentleman, he brought his son, his child. And as he begins to talk, we're seeing what's happening in the crowd. We're trying to figure out like Jesus, what's going on? And now we're getting some answers. And we understand that the big gathering was surrounding a child. It was a situation with a child that orchestrated this big gathering. We see in this story that there was a concern for a child. And I believe that concern for our children should gather us together.